files, a satanic Bible. Betty White and Lake Placid feeding crocodiles. Mary Shelley, Edgar Allan Poe, while I listen to Typo. Bram Stoker, Stephen King, John Carpenter's The Thing, Morticia, Elvira, Lily Munster, and Vampira. All the goth babes that I wish I was inside of. Freddy is my pal, yeah, we play in 64. You got the body, I got the brain, bitch, I could be your whore. I'll fuck Greta Gremlin while I look her in the eye. Post got a fucking candlelight and we're both stupid high. Book of the dead, give bitch's head, tied to my bed, her cheeks turn red. Black panty, Satan's queen, sit on my face and give me that cream. Dracula, Alf, and the ghost of Carl Sagan. My fantasy circle jerk that you can't participate in. I live in a haunted house and I've seen UFOs. Ghostbusters gotta help me clear this house of ghost hoes. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Jason Voorhees, Michael Keaton. Dawn of the Dead in my bed, cause that ass I do be eating. I live in a haunted house and I've seen UFOs. Ghostbusters gotta help me clear this house of ghost hoes. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Jason Voorhees, Michael Keaton. Dawn of the Dead in my bed, cause that ass I do be eating.
And I'm taking this sip. And I'm taking this sip.
Ready for murder.
Hello, Sydney.
The original terrifying story of a maniac, the man who lived after death, lived on human blood.
Welcome once again to what is not actually Gruesome Tuesday, but on Friday night here, because I happen to not be at work right now. I'm instead hanging out at home, drinking a simple Coca-Cola tonight. What are you guys up to? So I figured we would kind of talk about the channel tonight. Give a little bit of background. That's Yoshi over here. He probably, I don't know if you can hear him or not. He's screaming. There he is. But we recently hit 5,000 subs on the channel, which is pretty sick. Mostly in part due to a new Nightmare on Elm Street 4K video I did. I compared the 4K release to the Blu-ray, the DVD, and a couple of VHS tapes I had. And that video did really well. It's closing in on 20,000 views right now, so it's like in the top 5 most popular videos on my channel, which is awesome. I was glad to see it happen. Other than that, I posted recently a video on Freddy's Nightmares detailing those episodes, and that video is at almost 2,000 views, so things are going good right now, spooky season. But I've been doing this channel for 3.5 years now in total. When I started it, I was just re-uploading my TikToks, because I started a TikTok in like 2021, I want to say, and I had some mild success over there. I have like 16,000 followers on TikTok right now, I want to say. But it was never stuff that I was like really consistent about. I did a wide variety of content. I wasn't I talked about horror movies and stuff, but I mainly talked about movies on my podcast that I did with my brother, which started out being called the Frog Brothers Podcast. And we started that in 2020 during the COVID and everything, actually. Like in April of 2020 we started that. And that led to some pretty cool things. We got to host some panels at a Lost Boys convention, so I interviewed Jason Patrick and some of the other cast, like Jameson Newlander. Corey Feldman was the one who didn't let us interview him, but he was all busy with Corey Feldman shit like his tour bus breaking down and whatever else. But nonetheless, some fun times. We also went to the premieres of the last 2 Ghostbusters movies due to that podcast, just from connections we made and friends and stuff. But, you know, that our podcast channel, we do the podcast on this channel now. If you guys don't know, it's called Strange Glow Video now. but it's just me and my brother at this point, and we just talk movies or whatever else. And so when I started my channel, it was kind of like I was just uploading my TikToks and shorts for a while, and I started doing some random ass content too. Like I was reviewing food stuff. I was kind of sort of very influenced by what Dinosaur Dracula and, you know, Jay from Sludge Central do, as well as a bunch of other YouTubers. So it was just like I was reviewing the new Spider-Man Whopper, you know. I drank old Jolt Cola and shit like that. Like I did some bizarre shit. And then I started doing some VHS reviews and stuff like that. I think one of the first videos I did, that was actually a long form video. I was doing a video about the Gargoyles VCR board game that came with the movie. Gargoyles, the movie. You remember the 90s cartoon series Gargoyles? That thing ruled. So that video, you know, was like, oh, this is interesting format. And I did some other stuff like that. And eventually we got to where we are now. But when I started making that video, that was probably a year before I got serious. I got serious, I want to say, in like December of 2023. I was like, all right, I'm just going to start pumping out a fuck ton of videos. Like, just as fucking many as I can. It doesn't matter if they're good or not right now. I'm just going to learn through trial and error here what is good and bad, essentially. And anybody who's on YouTube and has been doing it long enough knows that you're going to constantly be having learning curves and things are changing on YouTube, and there's always stuff to get better at. But I'm pretty happy with how far the channel's gone, just in the last almost 2 years now since I've been taking it seriously. I had about 1,000 subscribers when I started taking it seriously, but like I said, those were all from shorts. And I think the most popular video on this channel still is a video with 500,000 views, and it was a video of me explaining a clip from Stranger Things. I think it's season 4. Yeah. Where Steve and Rob are in the car, and they're talking about Fast Times, paused at 53 minutes and 5 seconds. And I basically did a really bad version of that because the tape I used, for example, I don't know if they were going on the actual tape time or the film time, you know what I mean? Either way, the joke is the same. It's that they're talking about Phoebe Cates being topless in that movie. So, like, the unfortunate thing and things you learn about having a YouTube channel, this is, I don't know, this is somehow devolved into me just telling you the things I've learned in the last 2 years, but maybe you'll find it interesting, maybe not. When, the most popular search term that people search up on YouTube that leads to my channel is Phoebe Cates. So, like, out of all the long-form content that I've spent hours and hours on, that 30-second fucking TikTok video or whatever it was, maybe it was a minute long, that I re-uploaded to fucking YouTube, basically took over my algorithm for so long until I, like, fucking retrained it what the audience should actually be for my videos. And it took a long time, but we're pretty much there. Sometimes it has trouble because I do some videos that are interesting to, like, I would say 2 big groups of people. Like some of the big, heavy physical media type videos that I do, where I'm comparing source material. That's not like, that appeals to a very small niche of people. Physical media and usually horror, because I don't talk about a bunch of stuff outside of horror, sci-fi, and nostalgic stuff in general, but mostly I'm sticking to horror, closely related stuff. So it's a very small audience. And then if I do, say, like, something a little more broad, even the, I think the most popular actual long-form video on my channel is the Final Destination 3 DVD special feature explanation video. Because a lot of people remember that. So I posted that in December of last year, but I think in March or April, a few months ahead of the release of Bloodlines, that thing just took off. Like, it had less than 1,000 views, maybe a couple thousand, and it has over 100,000 now. So that was pretty cool. I've been pretty happy with which videos have become popular. Like sometimes, you know, they just don't hit right. Whether it's the thumbnail, whether it's the title, whether it's the combination, whether it's the actual video itself, whether I just made a shitty video, you know, or just one that people weren't interested in. But like, I started doing the comparisons in last December, I want to say. Well, that's not true. I did a couple pretty early on the channel. I did a Ghostbusters like full screen versus widescreen comparison, just to show the VHS like pan and scan stuff. And then I was like, I should do more of these. And I did like The Thing and I think the Labyrinth in December. So those started doing really well. I did some more of those. I still do those. I had some come out very recently. I talked about the Nightmare on Elm Street one. I also did one for Rocky Horror and Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. And that's another thing that was cool. Like, things that I'm very insanely passionate about. The videos that when I talk about those things, they do really well. Like Alf, Twin Peaks, Nightmare on Elm Street, Final Destination. Like, I'm stoked that those are my most popular videos, and it's not like something that makes me feel like I'm pigeonholed into talking about something I don't give a fuck about, you know? Especially if, like, can you imagine if I did, like, a bunch of negative videos? Like, I've done a couple almost borderline rant-style videos, and those are sort of new to the channel. I did one you should check out when I was talking about elevated horror, and then I did one shortly after talking about sleepaway camp, and that one was less ranty. But, like, I usually don't talk about stuff I don't like, you know what I mean? I think I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, and he always talks about that. And so, like, I don't know, in my personal life, I might talk more shit. I don't know. I don't really keep track of it, but I try to be more positive when I'm talking about stuff. And I don't mean, like, in a, you know, untrue way. I don't mean, like, oh, I'm saying this movie's better than it is. I just mean that I like to talk about things I like. If I don't like something that I've seen in the past, I'm probably not going to rewatch it and review it on this channel unless I think it's interesting or worth revisiting. I'll say, for example, like the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I saw that in theaters and I fucking never watched it again. And I have very little desire to watch it again. But there's some morbid curiosity in me too. Like, I want to rewatch it. And I probably will. And then I'll do a video talking about how my feelings have updated and stuff. And there could be some negative shit to say in that video for sure, but generally speaking, I mean, if I see a new movie, you might get some negative opinions. That's probably the lowest ranked, like, videos I've done was if I see a new movie, because I'm seeing it for the first time and then I'm gonna review it. I guess that's pretty much the only way you're gonna get super negative thoughts out of me, or if I'm responding to some weird, you know, internet community shit with horror and people's thoughts on it, because elevated horror is a very controversial even thing to say, that's the phrase elevated horror these days. So that was a fun video to do. But anyway, I've been ranting for a while. Anybody got questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. What's going on, Yoshi? Sorry, we don't want to see cat anus. Come on. Here he is. So later this month, we've got, let's talk about some videos that I know are coming out on the channel. I've got Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island's coming out on Blu-ray. It's already had a Blu-ray release. But not a solo Blu-ray release, and this is like a solo fun edition, I guess. I can't remember what it's called, but it has some cool, like, booklet, I think, with it, maybe, or there's something worth it. But I'm going to be reviewing that, and then Anaconda is coming out on 4K in December, as well as Ninja Turtles. I'll be reviewing all of that because I've reviewed both of those on VHS already, actually, on the channel. Those are great videos. This month, I'm going to be filming. How many days we got? We got 2 weeks left in October, so I got 2 weeks worth of spooky content left. I tell you what, there is definitely going to be a Halloween Ends Deserves an Apology video coming out. That's in the works. There's Buffy the Vampire Slayer VHS review that I've been working on. There's a couple others I might drop, like My Boyfriend is Back. Is that what that's called? My Boyfriend's Back? It's a movie I recently heard of and bought on DVD, but that's all I can think of off the top of my head. I have a huge fucking list in like calendar and stuff that I'm working on, but brain no good. What else can I say? You got anything, Yoshi? I do just want to thank everybody for stopping by, because live stuff always has varying viewers on my channel, because I don't know, I don't do a lot of lives. They're pretty, I've been doing consistently, I want to say, for maybe only like 6 months. So, and they are of varying degrees. Like these ones where I do solo, I do them kind of randomly. I do with my brother usually weekly on either Monday or Tuesday nights. We do Strange Little Video on the channel still. Let me see here. Oh, maybe not. Alright, I have pulled aside a couple random tapes we can talk about while I'm just chatting and hanging out here with you guys. These are basically like tapes you might find in the kids section at an old video store, especially during spooky time. We've got Alvin and the Chipmunks, Trick or Treason. I love the artwork on this thing. It's fucking colorful as hell. Look at that. That's super fun. These are fun to throw on the background regardless of how much you actually like them. This is only a 25-minute tape. But they have a couple other tapes they're recommending on the background, of course. The fact that this is not an orange tape is kind of upsetting, but Nickelodeon's SpongeBob SquarePants Halloween 5 Spooky Tales. Scaredy Pants, Imitation Crabs, Frankendoodle, I Was a Teenage Gary, and Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost. Now I'll be the first to admit that I'm not like the biggest SpongeBob nerd on the planet or anything, but like I think everybody tolerates SpongeBob at least, right? Enough to own a tape like this. I remember when SpongeBob actually aired for the first time. Like, I, for some reason, distinctly remember that day, whether there was some childhood trauma that I don't remember. Instead, I chose to remember SpongeBob, but it's very interesting. Alec, could you do a comparison in the similarities between the movie Lake Mungo and Twin Peaks storylines? That's the thing. I've never seen Lake Mungo, but I need to get on it. I can't remember. It wasn't when I was talking about Twin Peaks, but it's been recommended to me by like 2 or 3 different people, and I don't remember the context of why. It wasn't Twin Peaks, though, but that's dope. That makes me want to watch it more, because I love Twin Peaks. Congrats on the 5K, Ben Gammon says. Thank you, man. Alright, come on. Get on my lap, honey. There you go. Got a black cat to celebrate the spooky season, you know? He loves a little smooch on the face. Yeah, he loves to hang out here. We've also got a classic. Although I will say I definitely like this less than everyone else. I appreciate it, though. Much like SpongeBob, I think. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I enjoy it, but I don't, love it. I'm not like, holy shit, gotta watch it every year, man. Every now and then I'm like, let's put that on, check it out. Now, these two were sent by a fan, actually, earlier this year. I need to set up a P.O. box so more people can send me VHS tapes, because they're hard to find now. But, yeah, a fan sent me a bunch of, where are they from? The Philippines, maybe? VHS? Fuck, are they Korean? I can't remember. But they also sent me a couple of their spooky tapes, and one of those was Boo Busters, which is a Goof Troop tape. Pretty sick. You have the basically Ghostbusters parody artwork on the front. And I'm a huge Ghostbusters nerd. And let's face it, Goof Troop fucking rules. But look at those vibrant colors. There's two other shorts on there. And fucking Chip and Dale are even on the back of this thing. Beautiful artwork. Last one over here is Walt Disney Cartoon Classics, Halloween Haunts. It is another beautiful tape. It says, a wondrous collection of cartoon masterpieces from the great Disney legacy. Each volume in this fabulous series is filled with the joy and laughter that have made these cartoons timeless. Yours to enjoy now and forever. Because VHS never degrades. Scare yourself silly with these hauntingly hilarious Halloween treats. Join your favorite Disney characters from ghostly giggles and spooky stories. And it looks pretty sick on the front, let's be honest. That's awesome artwork. We love it. And it says, Pluto's Judgment Day. Mischievous Pluto gets a nightmare sentence from the Court of Cats after he chases a kitten for fun. And that's from 1935. Lonesome Ghost from 1937. Mickey Mouse, Donald, and Goofy try to scare up some business as haunted house cleaners. I'm in it. Trick or Treat from 1952. A sweet old lady on a broom swoops down on trickster Donald, and it proves to be a real treat to his new nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. I love this stuff. I don't have kids, and I don't plan on it. But I like that stuff. I like putting it on for me. What else you guys got going on? Anything? Anything you want to chat about? I didn't think this was going to be a super long live tonight or anything. We're going for about 20 minutes. I figured it'd be about 30 minutes, 40 minutes tonight tops. Just because it's a Friday night, a lot of people are out doing stuff, but I happen to be free. Sometimes other people are. I did go out to Vintage Stock and Half Price Books earlier. I picked up Let the Right One In, because I've never seen that. It is a gaping hole in my, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Brain. Horror knowledge. And so I picked that up. It was like $6 on DVD. Again, I don't mind buying DVDs. I was like, fuck it. Come on, Yoshi. Come on. Sick shirt, thank you. Yeah, it's a buy a Chucky shirt. You get away from the door, silly. The dog clawing at the door. Booger. Silly man. Gotta keep the door closed when I stream, because otherwise everybody will come in here and it's too much. What the fuck was I saying? My brain's gone. I'm completely lost. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I bought Let the Right One In, and I also found the third Texas Chainsaw movie. I think that was the only one I didn't have on physical media that I wanted, at least. I don't really want to get the Leatherface movie from 2017. To be fair, I don't think I've seen it in its entirety. But I don't know, something about that one just I feel like I can do without, as well as the 2022 one, which I don't think did that even get a physical media release since it was Netflix. Shows you how much I give a fuck about that movie, because I don't even know. I know a lot of those movies don't, though. Handsome Devil says, Alec, what were some of your most underwhelming 4K transfer purchases? The thing is, I've only been buying them for about a year now. I think the first 4K I bought, because for so long I was collecting VHS, and I was just content owning most things on DVD. And I would buy Blu-rays occasionally. Like, if I bought a new movie, it was going to be Blu-ray. And still, I bought the new Final Destination Bloodlines. I only bought on Blu-ray. But that was really just because none of the other movies are on 4K, and it's unlikely that they can be, I think. At least a couple of them can't be put on 4K unless they're just completely upscaled. So I was kind of like, fuck it. Blu-ray's good enough for me on that. But Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 were the first I bought, and they looked fucking great. And then I bought some of my other favorite movies, like Lost Boys and The Thing, and I thought they looked fucking excellent. I know I'm not answering the question yet. I'm just trying to think through all the 4Ks I own. I only own 30 or 40 maybe at this point. The Scream movies looked pretty good. The Child's Play movies I've bought have all looked good. I think I have 2, 3, and Bride. I have Terrifier 2 and 3 on 4K, just because I think they were close to the same price for the Steelbooks. I could probably honestly do without 4K and have those on Blu-ray and be fine, because I also have them on VHS. So it's those aren't transfers exactly. I will say Twister. Okay, and I didn't do a comparison video on this, simply because Last Movie Standing, I don't know if any of you guys watch his channel. Brian from Last Movie Standing did a comparison. I think we are good friends for YouTube channels, as far as you can be for someone. I think he lives in Texas. Never met the guy in person or anything, but we chat frequently about YouTube and movies and stuff. But he did a video talking about the Twister 4K scan, compared it to the Blu-ray, and some of the coloring on there is fucking wild. And some people are like, yeah, well, it's supposed to look that green. I don't think it's supposed to look that fucking green, man. Listen, I grew up in Kansas. I know what the green sky is supposed to look like, and it's not literally fucking leprechaun green in the sky. So I don't know. Little goofy, just stuff like that. And then, as far as I know, Terminator 2 didn't look good, so I didn't even buy it. Same with True Lies, I think. The upgrade for that's just a James Cameron thing. Aliens, I think, looks like shit on 4K, as what I've heard. Rumpelstiltskin from TerraVision looked fucking great, too. Casper is a little underwhelming, maybe, because it just didn't seem like there was anything that was like, oh my god, this is so much better than the Blu-ray. Same with Labyrinth. I think Labyrinth, I honestly prefer the Blu-ray. But I don't know. Those are underwhelming for sure, I'd say. Matt's Media Madness. Hey man, congrats on 5K. Thank you for stopping by. It's nice to see familiar faces around. I notice all of your names. I obviously know you guys comment on my shit regularly, so I see you. Thank you. Oh, my other kitty cat. Chet. Nice. So I don't know. You guys got any ideas for videos I should do? Drop them. Let me know. Because I'm always looking. I have like long lists. I have a notebook. I take notes for every video. I write. I wouldn't say what a script. I wouldn't say that. But I write like notes that I can kind of follow and refer to, just so I don't forget things that I definitely want to say. Sometimes I do anyway, but. And I keep track of like what videos I'm working on and kind of all that stuff. So I have long lists, but like I need more ideas. So throw them. Stuff that you'd like to see me talk about or explain or do or whatever. I definitely need to be reviewing some more VHS. I used to do that. I did that so fucking much last year. I need to do that some more this year. December is going to be crazy because Silent Night, Deadly Night, the remake for that's coming out. So I'm going to be probably reviewing the original on 4K, comparing it to the DVD I have, and reviewing the rest of those movies. I have all of them on DVD, including the last remake they did that was just called Silent Night. That's less of a remake and kind of just somehow loosely connected for some reason. I don't even know. I'm gonna do probably. It's probably just gonna be almost all horror throughout December as well, just because of that. I don't know. I'll probably save reviewing Black Christmas for another year or something. Let's see here. There's something that I can't read because it's not showing up in my chat. Let's see. Refresh chat. Thanksgiving. I don't know what we're going to do for November. Haven't decided. I thought about, there was a moment where I was thinking about doing a bunch of like kaiju and Godzilla movies in November, just for the fuck of it, just to change things up for a little bit. Sort of like theme the month. But I don't know. We'll see what I get up to. You know, the other night I rewatched X-Men First Class just for fun, because I like that movie. I like the X-Men movies. And I like that one a lot. That one holds up pretty well. I don't know if there's a lot of superhero movie type of people in my audience. I've done a couple of videos. I think I reviewed all the Marvel movies that came out this year, but like many people, I'm just not as passionate about them anymore. Those were not great reviews. Not that they were terrible movies, they just were like, you know, it was right. Handsome Death says, love your VHS comparisons. Your comparison between the two Terminator VHS releases was eye-opening. Yeah, that was crazy. Because I was just going to review the movie on VHS for that one, just to talk about Terminator. And I was like, I have two different releases of this. I should see which VHS looks better. And I'll put them side by side. And then I made that side by side and was like, wait, I should just show this to people. What am I doing? And that's just became what the video was about. Yeah, that was very interesting because if I'm remembering correctly, the original scan on the tape, whatever the first scan was, that one, the original tape looked way better. Yeah. I need to do a whole VHS like collection tour. I started my a lot of these physical media channels, we all do my entire collection videos. And I've only done my entire, what did I do? My entire 4K collection? Is that a video that I did already? I think that's the only one I've done. Because I have like 30, like I said. It was a 20, 30-minute video, maybe tops. But if I was to do that for VHS, like, I don't even have all my VHS here. I have a storage unit, and there are probably, like, a couple more boxes of tapes in there that just couldn't fit at this place that I moved into, so it's temporarily not here. I have well over 1,000 DVDs, so that's an impossible fucking task. Eventually I'll get around to it, though. Blu-ray is probably the next one I'll do, and I have a lot of Blu-rays. I don't know, maybe if I had to guess, somewhere between 200 to 500. That's a pretty wide range, but like somewhere in there. I know I have way more DVDs. My VHS is probably like another, honestly, fucking 500, 600 there as well. Yikes. So yeah, what else we got going on? Anything? It's Friday night. I myself am going to probably turn on a movie. I don't really know. Probably find something to watch for spooky season. Then before bed, I'll probably work on at least taking some notes and getting some stuff ready, maybe some thumbnails, I don't know. Something, some prep work. I'll be filming some stuff Monday. Maybe something tomorrow night too. It really just depends on how work goes. I work at a fucking sports bar, so it's like I can get off work at 8 or 2 a.m. We'll see. Who knows? I do have a video I'm going to talk about. I think my top 10 found footage movies. I'm probably going to try to release that before the end of the month. And probably do one on 13 Halloween movies you need to watch this season. Sorry, I'm booping the cat. Well, I can't read that. His ass is in the way. Maybe you could do some surround sound profile comparisons. I'm amazed how many old DVDs with Dolby Digital sound better than Atmos. Yeah, the thing with DVDs, well, not DVDs, the thing with audio for my comparisons. When I started doing comparisons on the channel, I was capturing everything for DVD, but for some Blu-rays and a lot of 4Ks, it was like copyright protected the way I was capturing it. So for 4Ks especially, I would have to film my TV with a 4K camera. And I thought that was a dumb fucking idea, but there was another YouTuber I talked to, and that's what he said he did, and his looked great. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll give it a shot. I did that, I think, for like 2 videos before I was like, this is annoying. This doesn't look good. So I found a way around that to capture. And it works. I always have a little disclaimer when I do those comparison videos. And the way I capture the audio is just stereo right now. Like, I don't have another option. It's pretty much just that right now. Until, because I do want to do videos on the audio, and I want to do videos where I can upload the 4K comparison in 4K with HDR, so you can really see the true comparison. But then the problem is everybody's gonna be viewing it on their fucking phone without HDR, or whatever. So I don't know. You can't win with doing comparison videos, I feel like, but they're fun. As far as sound goes, I need to get a good surround setup. I need to figure out a good way to analyze the audio and stuff like that, but I just haven't gotten into it yet. Because one of the things I want to do is, like I said, get a setup where I can just rip the 4K disc onto a hard drive or whatever onto my computer, and then essentially edit that with the HDR intact. And you know, that's gonna be a whole thing though, just because like ripping a fucking, I don't have the storage for that. They don't put hardly shit for storage in these computers anymore, and I have a fucking couple-year-old MacBook Pro. So hi, what's your favorite Lynch work and why? I mean, it's probably going to be a stereotypical answer, and it's not entirely Lynch's work either, but Twin Peaks. But if we want to talk about outside of Twin Peaks just for fun, probably, it might be Lost Highway. I don't know. Lost Highway or Blue Velvet or Mulholland Drive. I don't know. Those three are kind of like really rotating in my brain right now. Yeah, I don't know. I like those three a lot. And obviously Twin Peaks. But I do have all of his movies on DVD, but I've been upgrading to 4K. I did a couple recently, the Lost Highway 4K comparison, as well as Mulholland Drive. I think the craziest thing to me was learning that Lost Highway didn't have a DVD release till 2008. Like, it was only on... In 2007, if you wanted to watch Lost Highway, you had to find a fucking VHS copy of that shit and a VCR. It's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy, man. But yeah, I've been slowly upgrading those to 4K, and I would like to get more of his VHS. I have Twin Peaks, like the entire series box set on VHS, and then I have the International Pilot VHS, and I have Wild at Heart and Dune on VHS, just because those are the ones I've found in the wild. I would like to expand that, though. Yeah, there's some fun stuff. I'm always like on eBay just looking up David Lynch shit and Twin Peaks stuff. It's a disease I have. I do need to do another video, probably, if I've even done one, talking about my autographed VHS collection. That'd be a fun one. I recently found out Brian O'Halloran from Clerks is going to be here for a convention in January, I think. So I'm going to try to get him to sign my copy of Clerks on VHS, add that to the signed tape collection. That's dope. Do you care for Inland Empire? I do. That's always a commitment, and I've only seen it once. But I do own it on DVD. It left an impression. I just need to check it out again, because it's been probably fucking over 5 years since I've seen it now. I got it when I watched it when I first got it. And I liked it, but didn't love it. Which is like the same with The Straight Story. But The Straight Story, you know, I mean, I get why people would be like, oh, this is not like David Lynch's work, I'm not going to like it or whatever. But, like, obviously, if you're expecting it to be like the other stuff, but I don't think anybody is. I just don't ever go out of my way to watch that one. I think if I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch a David Lynch movie tonight, usually I'm going for Blue Velvet, Lost Highway, or Mulholland Drive. But every now and then it'll be like, yeah, let's throw in Eraserhead, Wild at Heart. I like those also. I'm never like, holy shit, we gotta throw on Dune tonight, bro. Any of them, for that matter. I know people like the new ones, but... Yeah, see... And... I can't remember, did I watch that? I did watch it after I watched The Return. I got to witness The Return before I witnessed Inland Empire, which is actually weird, but that's how it rolled for me. Just because I could never find Inland Empire. I like slowly collected the David Lynch movies. For a long time I didn't have Elephant Man either. I need to get around to revisiting Inland Empire, though. That'd be a good video. Lynch stuff does decent on my channel usually, so I like talking about him. I'm not like one of those people who has a bunch of different theories I'm going to spout out about his work or anything, and I don't think that I'm like fucking super intelligent or anything, you know? I'm alright. I can tie my shoes, you know? But I feel like if you can look up a lot of videos on David Lynch's work and just find people saying all sorts of crazy shit, and like there's the one video obviously that's super fucking famous and is basically a meme at this point, but there's a bunch of others too. What was I gonna say? Something. Oh, I saw a post on the VHS, or was it? I know somebody's subreddit. Let me see here. I think I screenshotted it. I'm talking about. Oh, here it is. Okay, it doesn't. I don't even remember. Either way, it's VHS copies of On the Air. At least a couple episodes, I imagine. And Hotel Room, which were other TV projects by David Lynch, obviously, and ones that I've still never seen. I'm sure I can hunt them down on like Internet Archive or something, but yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. Theory videos or whatever, it's more interesting to hear what Inland Empire makes someone feel rather than them trying to dissect the film, I think. Yeah, I kind of feel that way about Mulholland Drive, too, so that's nice to hear. Would love a video on it regardless what you choose to talk about. Oh, I would probably just, you know, do a simple-ish review. I might just talk about the DVD. Is that one that's been... Has Criterion put that on 4K? I know they put it on at least Blu-ray. I don't know about 4K though. Because I could always do that, compare the DVD scan, and that'd give me something, an excuse to do it. Although it's actually weird. The Lost Highway comparison video didn't get a lot of views. I think it has less than 200 views right now, maybe. And I was like, oh, there should be some people that want to watch this. No one gave a fuck about that video. I thought it was fascinating myself, so I don't regret it. This is very funny. For my channel, you wouldn't guess it, but off to the side here, sitting right here is the Toretto household from Fast and Furious. It was on clearance one day for like $5 at Walmart. Little fucking diorama. And I actually like the Fast and Furious movies, surprisingly. Holy shit. Cat is back. Come here. You want to get on my lap? Yeah, they upscaled it to 4K with AI or something, if I'm not mistaken. It's something people relatively often mention, so I think they did something different with that. Interesting. I'd have to see what they did, because they might have released... They might have released, like... See, how am I going to explain this? Okay, so Mulholland Drive, Criterion released on Blu-ray, and then years later they released a 4K version. Same with Fire Walk With Me, which just came out on 4K. I did a 4K versus Blu-ray video for that as well. But with Lost Highway, the Blu-ray and 4K dropped at the same time for Criterion. So they're like the same scans for sure with like nothing extra done. You know what I mean? Like that's the same source, just on 2 different compression or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And so I'd be interested to see if Inland Empire has like 2 different versions from Criterion, or if they have only released the one. Because mine's just a DVD. Let me see here. Okay, I don't even have the DVD in this room. It's in the living room because I was actually thinking about watching it a few weeks ago, so it's probably in my like 2 watch stack. Oh, I'm a new subscriber. I'll watch it for sure. Oh, you should. I have a whole playlist dedicated in my playlist section to David Lynch and Twin Peaks, so go check that out after this, because there's I did a video on the VHS for the International Pilot and talked about that, and I compared the gold box set to the entire mystery set last year. That did really well. Got like 5,000 views. Got a bunch of subscribers from that, so I was happy, just because it's like not just, oh, I'm getting new subscribers. It's like, oh, I'm talking about Twin Peaks, and people are taking notice and subscribing. Like, so I can do that more in the future and build that community, which I really like. It's fun to talk about. And then when I eventually got the new version of Zeta A, which has the pilot and episode 8 of The Return on 4K, I compared those 4K scans to the Blu-rays. That was fun. I think next up I'm going to buy Blue Velvet on 4K, probably in November, and compare that scan. So that'll be fun. Let's see. What else we got going on? I feel like there was something else I didn't respond to up here. Maybe that's it. Yeah, it's possible that. All right, I'll just read it. It might just be me, but it feels like in the recent year or two, not even because of his death, a lot of people have weirdly begun getting into Twin Peaks that weren't previously. I might be wrong though. That's kind of always the case. I always find there's new people getting into Twin Peaks, like super weird. I got into it in like 2011, I want to say. 2012 maybe. Bedtime, enjoy the rest of your stream. Yeah, thank you for stopping by and chatting. Have a good night. I am probably about to call it quits. Didn't even think we'd go close to an hour tonight anyway, unless anybody else has got any more questions. I will try to answer those on the way out. Oh, holy shit, my hat is making my head look like fucking, like I have no hairline. Look at that. Look at that glorious hairline. Let's look at how beautiful my hair is real quick. Dude, I look like fucking Brendan Fraser in Airheads here, dude. The Lone Rangers. How can you be lone? I don't remember the exact quote. You know what I'm talking about. Fucking Airheads rules. Should do a video talking about that. I don't know if I have that on VHS or not. We've got a DVD for sure. Solid movie. Did you know that Airheads, here's a fun fact, was shot at the same building, Fox Plaza, that's used in Die Hard for Nakatomi Plaza. But in Airheads, they just don't film up at the tower. They use just the entry there for the radio station, which is crazy, but it works. And I actually know this because I went there and like did a quick video before security kicked us out in the parking lot. One of the times I went to LA. I like going to movie sites, so I was like, we're going to the Die Hard Nakatomi Tower. Nakatomi Plaza? Nakatomi Tower? Nakatomi Plaza. Anyway. yeah, I got some new videos coming out this week. 5,000 subs, pretty sick. We're gonna get to 10,000 at some point. That'll be cool too. If you guys got any video ideas, again, drop them in the comments down below. I'll be back probably Monday or Tuesday with Strange Girl video with my brother. We'll be live talking something Halloween related, a movie related. I don't know if we actually have something decided or not, and I'm just forgetting. There's also going to be some new videos dropping this week. I don't think there's anything coming tomorrow. I think Sunday I'll have a video drop. And then maybe Tuesday, at least. Tuesday for sure. Anyway, I could ramble all night, but I will let you guys get to something much more fun and entertaining for the night. I'm also going to do the same. Find a movie to watch, get some snacks going. Bought some Reese's tonight. Alright, have a good night, guys.
Hell shit and get money. Hell shit and get money. Hell shit and get money. Hell shit and get money.
I like spooky shit like Scooby-Doo, I admit. Necronomicon, horror movie, 16-bit. Castlevania, X-Files, the Satanic Bible. Betty White and Lake, Placid feeding crocodiles. Mary Shelley, Edgar Allan Poe, while I listen to Typo. Bram Stoker, Stephen King, John Carpenter's The Thing, Morticia.